Hello, my name is Angela, and I have spent the majority of my life believing that there are just things that cannot be done, that there are rules to this life that you must obey, and that if you want something, you have to work extremely hard in order to get it. I grew up with this idea that I couldn't do something and I wouldn't be able to accomplish anything because I didn't have a special skill and I didn't have a unique quality or a gift that made me unique from everybody else around me. I didn't have this great ability to sing and I didn't have this amazing talent to draw. And this made me feel, it made me feel purposeless. So I took jobs and I worked as a server and I sold other people's products and I came home every day wishing that things would be different. I wished that life would be fun and exhilarating and that I would be able to do all of the things that are possible in this life, but I still grew up with this belief that I could not have everything that I wanted unless I worked extremely hard for it. Now this set me into a world of depression. I became angry with myself, so I started self-medicating and finding ways to escape myself in order to make it through each day without feeling like I had no purpose. This turned into years of self-loathing and depression that I just couldn't seem to pull myself out of, while doctors prescribed me medications that ultimately exacerbated my condition rather than helped it. They were treating the symptoms rather than finding the cure. And for me, the cure came to me when I decided that I had enough. I wasn't going to live my life like this anymore. And you can only get so low to where you've got to start digging yourself out. That's what I did. I started digging myself out of this rut that I had put myself in. I started to realize that I had had nobody to blame, even though I blamed the entire world around me for what was wrong. And I mean the entire world was at fault for what was wrong with me. My parents for splitting up, my sisters for never treating me the way I assumed I should have been treated, my bosses for firing me from jobs that I hated anyways. So I started to realize that I was creating this world and that the only person to blame would be the creator, which was me, my thoughts, my feelings, my beliefs. The things that were holding me back were ultimately the things that I couldn't seem to change. And the things that I couldn't seem to change was the way that I viewed myself and the world that I was living in. I started reading books, and I started this journey of finding out what my purpose was and why I was existing. Why I was just simply here to live, or if there was a purpose for me. And I thought, why would God, the universe, anything greater than myself have me here when I feel this way? Why do I wake up every day and feel as if I wish I had it? This thought is what brought me to this life-changing moment. When I finally sat down to ask myself, who am I? And why don't I like myself? I mean, who was this self? Who was this person that had these thoughts, had these feelings and these emotions that she couldn't seem to control? And for that, who was I other than my thoughts? If I took away my name, if I took away the places that I'd worked, if I took away all of the things that made me who I was, then who was I? So that's just what I did. I took away all the thoughts of who I was, who I'd been, my past memories, and I started over. I took the memories of thinking that I had grown up this victim and that life was hard and that I had to work really hard to be something, and I changed them to being that I'm a survivor. Life is easy. And if you focus from a different perspective, that things are wonderful, that you are wonderful, that I am wonderful, that life is full of amazing opportunities, it makes it a much easier self to live with. Now, by no means will I lie and say that my ego didn't try its very best to fight this by filling my head with, this isn't true, you're not good at this, why are you even trying? Don't even bother, you're never gonna have any money, nobody cares what you have to say, you might as well just go back to the old ways. The thing I learned was that the hardest thing I'm ever going to have to do is look at my old self and be the self I want to be, rather than let the old self control who it is I'm going to be. If I continued to let my old self guide me and push me in directions I didn't want to go, I was never going to be able to be who I wanted to be. And that was someone who loved me. The rest of the world outside could have told me they loved me, and I wasn't going to believe it until I started to love myself. And this is exactly what I did. I made it my sole mission, my sole purpose, to love myself. I took away everything that was blocking me from being able to do this. The television that I had with the media forcing me to believe that if I didn't look a certain way, then I wasn't beautiful. If I didn't have certain material objects, that I wasn't anyone worth being. And that if I didn't buy or purchase something that they wanted to sell, then I couldn't have everything in life that looked like it would make me happy. I've had a lot of material objects, and I've bought a lot of things that I was convinced to buy. And I realized that none of these things were making me happy. And yes, I'm not going to say that having a financial security will not make you happy. But where are we searching for this happiness if it is not inwardly? I can buy as many things as I want to try to feel happy. But at the end of the day, if I don't love myself, what was the point of it all?